insight into upcoming ones. We will uncover the science and the solutions behind clean, healthy rivers. From expert guests to local champions, this is your source for inspiration, information, and action about this project. Flowing Clean is funded by Jeff SGP UNDP and ProCarry Plus, and this program is made possible by SRDF as our collaborating and funding partner. Join us on Flowing Clean because every drop counts and the river depends on you. Flowing Clean, restoring our rivers together. Keep the river clean.
Boy, this the message. Yo, so friend, I tell you, keep the river clean, keep the river clean. Keep the river clean, keep the river. I tell you, please keep the river clean. I beg you, please keep the river clean. No more trash in the water, keep the river clean. Let we preserve for the future, keep the river clean. Hey, the time to act is now. So what we gonna do? We are the guardians of the river, let we start anew. Pollution ain't no joke. Let we fix what we broke, so we can bust our river line again. Pumping from chemicals, no we not in that. Washing cars up the stream, no we not in that. Let's clean up pollution. We have a solution. Next to for river, the envy of the nation. I tell you, please keep the river clean. I beg you, please keep the river clean. No more trash in the water, keep the river clean. Let we preserve for the future, keep the river clean. Hey, tell your neighbor, tell a friend, can't let it continue again. It's our responsibility, protect the environment. A healthy river is healthy you, and Mother Nature calling out to you.
Good morning, Sufre. Good morning to all the listeners who are listening in on 88.5's platforms, on Radio Garden, on our Facebook page, as well as on our YouTube page. Yes, so we are right now starting up our second show for Flowing Clean in the new year 2026. And it's not on Radio Garden, my apologies. So we are just on YouTube and on Facebook. Okay, so resetting. Welcome once again. I hope everybody's having a very blessed Tuesday this day. I hope everybody is hard at work and setting and aiming for the goals that they have set for the new year. And here at Flowing Clean, we have established quite a bit of activities that we are in the process of implementing. We are going to start this morning by briefing you on what it is that we have upcoming next week. And on Monday next week, Monday, the 26th of January, we are partnering with another Jeff regional project to hold a cleanup of some of the coastline, the Sufre coastline, and we are working in partnership with the rangers at the SMMA for us to coordinate that and hopefully get some volunteers to come out to participate. There will be refreshments served. On the 28th of December, we did have another cleanup. And this time it was from the river mouth. So we cleaned up the sand spit, the sandy area at the mouth of the Sufre River, all the way down to behind the cemetery. And we were aided by members of the Sandals Eco Warriors Club, as well as volunteers from the Black Panthers Sports Organization in Sufre, Black Panthers Sports Club. Thank you very much for turning out. This Monday coming, though, we will be working with persons who are coming from various islands, including Jamaica, Belize, and I think one or two persons from the US will be joining us in cleaning up parts of the coastline in Sufre. We will be targeting Margaret Tooth area, as well as Ratchet Point and Tujab. Ratchet Point is the rocky beach area that is just to the west of the Bat Cave, where the yachts anchor, as well as Tujab, which is around the corner from Ratchet Point. When you're heading up to Anshasni, there's a beach at the bottom of the road. That is where we are going to be cleaning. Why do we need to clean up this area? because persons go to the beach, they have their beach parties with their families, with their friends, and they don't leave with their garbage at Margaret Tooth. Murphy and his wife at Paradise, they clean a part of the beach, but it's not their responsibility, it's not their guests. And Sufre people, St. Lucians, anybody who is going to Margaret Tooth Beach to relax and enjoy nature, you should not be leaving your garbage there. The garbage truck, you know fully well, does not pass in that area. So you leaving your garbage there is just going to attract rodents and it's going to spoil the aesthetic, make the place look nasty. So going to encourage persons when we clean up this area, if you see anybody leaving their garbage behind, call them out. Tell them straight up, you should not be leaving your garbage there. Take your garbage home with you. When you get to your home, you will put it in the garbage bin, which is where it's supposed to go. We have nobody going to um, Margaret to clean up the beach. The National Conservation Authority does not maintain Margaret Beach. So do not leave your garbage there. There are no garbage bins there for that very reason, for you to understand and know if you bring something there, leave with it. If you can carry it to go there, when you're going home, it's empty, it's lighter, go back home with it. We have been cleaning this area, and time after time, it keeps on filling back with garbage. And I think we are getting to the point where police need to start charging and fining people for littering if they are found littering. We are working right now in getting somebody to do a legislative review for us, go through all the laws in St. Lucia and find out what laws pertain to pollution, and then what fines can be applied to those persons. Once that is done, we will be training the police in Sufre for them to know exactly which piece of legislation that they are going to be using to charge persons. So we do not want to go that route. This is the last possible route. We want persons to start being a lot more conscious, a lot more aware, a lot more considerate of others, a lot more responsible for the environment that they went to enjoy. Nobody would want to be walking on the beach or playing football or cricket on the beach and for you to step on broken bottle or piece of metal and for you to get injured, or for you to have rats running around, or for you when you lay down your basket with your food and drinks that you have ants crawling all over because people have been leaving their food and drinks in the area for to attract these pests, to attract the ants and to attract rodents. So please cooperate. We are one community. We should be exhibiting national pride in of ourselves, for our country, for our environment. So please, when we do the cleanup, I don't want to see any more garbage piling up in that area. The other area that we do get garbage that's piling up is at the Ratchet Point area. And some persons, once it's not in their immediate line of sight, it doesn't affect them. But you drop a plastic bottle on the street somewhere in Sufre, and before the town council workers gets a chance to sweep it up, which they should not be doing, you should not be dropping your garbage on the street in the first instance. This bottle or this wrapper or whatever it is ends up in the drain, flows down during a heavy rainfall, like we just had, thank goodness for the rain. And it ends up in the sea and it floats. The current takes it and pushes it up against the rocks, the rocky beach, the rocky shore around Ratchet Point area, just west of the Bat Cave and around Tujab. So whenever we go there to clean up, we always get bags upon bags of plastic bottles and light things that float on the sea, because that's where the current is going to be pushing it up against on shore. So persons in Sufre, we are imploring you. We know fully well that this community thrives primarily on tourist dollars, primarily on the tourism industry. We do have agriculture, but we know that our community, the majority of our relatives and friends, they are employed in the tourism industry. We want to first clean up this area for ourselves, for our health, so that when others come to visit, they can enjoy a clean environment as well. When the yachts come and they moor up and they tie to a mooring buoy in that area, That's what is they're seeing. You think these yachties want to come back and tie up in that area for them to be watching garbage on the shoreline? You on shore in Suffolk Town, you're not seeing it. But when they tie up their mooring buoy and they want to sit down and watch the sunset and the boat spins around, that's what they're seeing. That's exactly what they're seeing. Same thing in the two job area. The two job area is one area that the fishermen use as a fishing priority area within the SMMA. It's a sandy bottom beach. It's a very nice beach, and they cast their nets there. And you imagine casting the nets and they pulling up garbage with it. I remember seeing a video just recently of somebody, I'm not sure if it is in Miku or if it is in somewhere on the West Coast, cut up a fish and they found a tube of something to deal with fungus, to treat fungus in the intestines of the fish. The fish are consuming the garbage that we put out. So who knows what it is that we're eating when we eat the fish after they have consumed what it is that is the garbage that is floating out. We need to be more mindful and realize that littering does not just make the place look dirty. It does not make the water color turn. It does not just affect the birds or the fish. It is beginning to affect our health. It is beginning to affect our health. Professor, well, she's now a professor in Canada. Her name is Dr. Marsha Seville Tertullian. She did some research in Soufrière a number of years ago, around 2020, and her results showed that the Soufrière River has very high levels of caffeine. It also has very high levels of fluconazole, which is a fungal medication. She tested water samples from Font Saint-Jacques, Ruby, all the way down to the Soufrière River mouth. And the water in that area had high levels of caffeine, which indicates that we drink a lot of coffee in Soufrière, yes, but people are not throwing coffee down the drain. They're not just throwing their coffee down the drain for you to have that high levels. It's because they're also discharging, we're getting waste, human waste, gray matter. People are dumping their urine and their feces in the drains and in the ravines in Soufrière. Let's be honest. I'm going to put that out there right now. And when your body, you drink and you consume something, you excrete that matter in your urine and your feces. The substances that they were testing is excreted by the kidneys. You get it in urine. We need to start thinking, and not just thinking, but taking action to stop the bad practices that some persons continue to do that are affecting the entire Soufrière community. We all know that WASCO has started a campaign to encourage persons to conserve water. The situation is becoming very, very serious. That is why when I started, I said, thank God for a little bit of rain. My water tank could be topped off. I hope, as WASCO has been encouraging, as the government has been encouraging sustainable development, and all ministries have been encouraging businesses and households to start conserving water and harvesting, saving rainwater. Because we are in a drought. If you look at the mountain range around Soufrière, you will see that the trees are already brown. The grass is already drying up. We've already had bushfires. And we are only in January. We're only in January. As the months continue and we start going deeper into the dry season, it's only going to get worse. So when the rain falls, save as much water as you can. Going back to the issue of pollution in the Soufrière River, We harvest Wasco takes water from the rivers around St. Lucia as well as springs. For us in Soufrière, most of the water that Wasco taps in the catchments comes from springs, and persons have the view that springs are forever flowing. The sad reality is that the flow rate of water has been significantly reduced. There is less and less water flowing out of the springs that Wasco has as catchments, which is the reason why right now they have started rationing water. So they will close off the valve in the valving system that would supply water to one community so that another community can get water. So persons should begin to expect longer periods of having no water. You still have to pay Wasco for when they send water to you. And I hope you're prepared to start saving the water when it does come through your lines. I mentioned last week that we have tested the water. This week we will be holding a meeting where the lab is going to be discussing the results with us. And hopefully, I am hopeful that either next week, Tuesday, or the following Tuesday, I can bring him on the air based on his availability. I can bring him on the show. So I'm putting you on notice that either next week, Tuesday, tune in, or the week after. I will put out a flyer when he confirms the date. So look out for the flyer that will be on 88.5's Facebook page as well as our Waterways Facebook page for you to tune in. If you're at work and your employer, you should tell them this is something that you need to listen to as well. This is something that we all need to listen to for us to present and discuss the results of the water quality. And I'm going to try to see if we can actually have the graphs and the results displayed on the second screen. So while we're talking, you'll be able to see it as well. So I'm hoping for us to coordinate that with H8.5 so that we can have this virtual community feedback to bring back to you the results and for us to enter into a discussion. So if we will then have persons calling in to ask questions or typing the questions online, we can have a more interactive session that way. That being said, we will be continuing our community meetings so that I will be presenting that same PowerPoint, that same presentation to the communities so that we can go from Fonjalib, Chateau Bel-Air, Etangs, Belfond, Belplaine, Mocha, all the way up to Mini, Saint Philippe, Wavinclair, and Touray, Zenon, go to all the communities all around Soufrière, all the way down to Bouton, to present the results that we have gotten so far. While we will be doing that, we will be starting our training for the Adopt a River program next week, Friday, depending on the availability of persons, or on Sunday. So I'm in the process of communicating with all those groups who have indicated an interest in participating, becoming water warriors in monitoring the rivers where they live, where they work, and to report the results to us. So then we'll be able to put together a state of the river report for Soufrière and to show everybody in Soufrière what the water quality is really like, and for us to continue monitoring as the year progresses. I am monitoring the level of water in the Soufrière River as well. I expect that if the drought gets very, very severe, that we will have very little water flowing down the Soufrière River. The river has never run dry. I hope it's not going to happen this year. We need the water, the fish, the birds, the snails, the marine life, the aquatic life, marine is for the sea, the aquatic life, aquatic meaning water life, they need the water. Already we were not seeing some of the birds that were in the river before the river was dredged. What we call pool glowing patois, the common gallinule, We have been doing some riverbird monitoring for CPA for one of the projects, and we have not seen any of those birds in the Sufa River. So this is a little bit concerning for me, because that bird is always in the river. So we want to ensure that we continue monitoring what is happening in the Sufa River. We live in a ecosystem that, whether you like it or not, you're linked to all the other plants and animals that are around. So if something happens to them, there will be some effects that will fall back on us as humans living in that community. So we need to ensure that everybody, every single Suferian plays their part to ensure that we keep our river flowing clean. We are also calling on persons who have left school and who have math and English as two basic passes for CXC to apply to become enumerators for our perception survey. So anybody who has left school, any adult, anybody who has left school, we are trying to get at least 12 persons to attend the training. I've had some persons respond indicating an interest to the ad that was on our Facebook page, but the only ad that we had on the Facebook page at the time was for the legislative review. And if you intended to apply for the position of enumerator, please, when you are sending in an application, don't WhatsApp me and tell me I'm interested in the job and not tell me what job. Young people, if this is how you approach prospective employers for work, you're not going to get the job. Okay? Send in an application that specifies which position you're applying for. I was recently privy to learn that, for instance, the St. Lucia National Trust has been trying to get some young persons to work at the National Trust. And somebody sent in an email, I am interested in the job you advertised. That is the subject of the email. When they clicked the email open, there was nothing written there. That's not how you apply for a job. That is not how you apply for a job. You should have a letter, an application letter, as well as a CV that details what school you went to, whether you graduated or not, and if you did graduate, what CXC subjects you passed, if anything, or what CXC subjects you wrote, or if you are going to rewrite any of them. Do not send in any application that is just a very brief message in the subject line of the email. I am applying for the job you advertised. That's not how it is done. So for those persons who are going to be applying for the position of enumerator, you need to be able to read, because of course it's a survey. You're going to be asking persons questions, and you should be able to write well, to write down what their responses are. So for the basic that we're looking for, math and English, passes at CXC to become an enumerator for that perception survey. If you are interested, you should email your letter of interest to our email info@waterways.org, or you can email it directly to me, nkazobo@mywaterways.org. We have several other activities that are upcoming. I am still disappointed that something we ordered months ago has not arrived in St. Lucia. I am still eagerly anticipating the arrival of the litter boom, and as soon as it gets here, we're prepared for us to go straight into installing it and holding the launching ceremony for that. What is the litter boom? It is a device that consists of some floats and a mesh that is hanging down that we will be placing in the Sufa River. It will be lying down on the waterbed, on the riverbed, and when it rains, it is going to float up and trap behind it any garbage that is floating down the river. So when the water level goes back down, our somebody that we will be employing through the town council will be going to clean out the litter boom. So we should not be getting, once that litter boom is installed, any trash entering the Sufa Bay from the Sufa River. But we still have several drains, several ravines flowing into the sea, not just the Sufa River. I want to commend the group. There is a project being funded by Canary, the Caribbean Natural Resources Institute. That project is being managed by Dr. Mary Louise Felix. We were in Barons Drive last week, and the project is distributing to residents of Market Road and Barons Drive 25 large garbage bins with wheels, so that we will reduce the incidence of garbage in bags sitting by the side of the road or sitting in the little lanes heading to persons' homes that is blocking, or when the dogs or stray animals come around, we'll be ripping them off. So we want to ensure that persons, when they do pick up their bins, remind them that the bins belong to the person who signed up for it, as well that the bins need to stay at your homes up until your day of garbage collection. Then you will place the bins by the side of the road, and the neighbors who you allow can put their garbage in your bins as well. But the bins are assigned to one household, one family, one person, and they are to allow their neighbors, whoever they choose, to dispose of the garbage, their household's garbage, in those other bins. This week, either, I'm not sure if it is tomorrow, they will be doing the same community meeting, but in Palmist this time. So Palmist will be coming to you as well to speak to you about this project, to try to reduce the incidence of garbage being strewn about and entering the drains when persons place their garbage by the side of the road. So another 25 bins will be allocated or given to persons in the Palmist area. So if you are interested, please attend that meeting and sign up for your home, for your household to receive a bin. As well, let me let you know that for both Barons Drive Market Road and the Palmist, the bins will be distributed from the Sufa Town Council's office, not this week, but the following week, okay? So the bins will be distributed 1 week from today. Those bins will be, you'll be called to inform you when you would be coming to pick up the bin. So that is for persons, only persons who have given in their names will be eligible to pick up garbage bin. So if you have not signed up, you will not be receiving a garbage bin. And I think all 25 bins have been allocated for Barons Drive and Palmist, Barons Drive and Market Road right now. And Palmist, your turn is coming up next. It is now 11:02, and I unfortunately need to leave because I have a meeting that has already started that my phone just messaged me to remind me of. So let me thank those of you who have been listening. Let me just ask you to tune in because we will be presenting the results of the water quality analysis either next week or the following week. Nonetheless, we will be having a guest with us next week, so tune in for the flyers for those 2 upcoming shows. Once again, let me wish everybody a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Sadly, you did not have enough time for us to go through with our giveaway. And let me see if I can work with maybe Erlan or Buzz for us to see if we can give away the second Christmas prize. So that will be coming up maybe next week. So have a wonderful, wonderful day, everyone. And I will see you all next week.
Make Christmas so much sweeter.